All right, off on another ride. This one will showcase how easily accessed the new multi-use path at the airport is. And then up from there to Lions Park via the only bike lane in Colony. And then along the Hudson, or the Mohawk Hudson. I realize that now it's my practice to shorten or edit out or I guess condense is the right word, the time I spend at red lights. I have to stop my commentary when I stop for a red light. So yes, I will be following the multi-use path, some other connectors, up to Lions Park. It's going to be impossible today. It is my opinion, my ill-advised, resentful opinion, that whichever traffic engineer, project engineer, manager signed off on the exit 3 work on this path should be consigned in a Sisyphusian manner to ride repeatedly between the Colony Library and the terminus of this section of the path, which I won't get to on this video, perpetually for a year or more until they repent of their errors, of which there are many. This is, for example, the only path in this area of which I am aware that is so rough. I don't know if they cheaped out on the material or just didn't bother to finish it. But you compare it to any of the recent work that Albany has done on their new South End connector, or the work that Watervliet has done on that new path that runs along Route 32, any of the repaving that's been done by Colony, some of which we'll ride, a little of which we'll ride today. All of that is quite smooth. But this is not, despite being the same age. And that doesn't even account for the fact that there are those large dips for vehicle access. Be that as it may, it is still an improvement over riding that portion of Albany Shaker Road without a path. But it's one of those things that's frustrating because it so easily could have been done right. And they could have made a decent connector because they reworked the entire intersection, adding a lane, and there was more space under that bridge. They could very easily have added a protected bike path the whole way from the library, rather than forcing people to brave that intersection and the next intersection and the following intersection. Not sure what's going on up here, but use some caution. Oh, very nice. New fence. That looks good. I think things like that make the exit 3 sloppiness all the more galling, because it's not like there's any shortage of excellent work being done by public works departments in this area. And they spent $50 million creating an exit 3 and couldn't be bothered to get it right. By the way, I hop up on the curb on over the grass there because the ramp at the intersection is not placed with traffic coming from the road in mind, which is, I suppose, understandable, but it's also in pretty bad disrepair, and so it's easier just to skip it and hop up the edge of the road there. I feel like this segmented path, for which I don't know its name, like I've looked, haven't been able to find anything to suggest what it's called or who owns it or any of that. But this is a very underappreciated path. It's in pretty good repair. Even after storms, it gets cleaned up pretty quickly. And it's fairly under-traveled. Likely because, unless you're one of the handful of people working at either end, it's so isolated to get to, especially relative to its length, that it's just not used, which is too bad. I'd love to see this cleaned up a little bit. Maybe with a stop sign there for vehicular traffic and smoothing it out and straightening it out. mean, I'm sure that the reason it was configured in the way it was is to keep bicycles from shooting through in front of cars, but in my mind, the solution to that is to slow down the cars. Since they are going to be stopping anyway.
I know.
Another reason I would like to find out who owns this path, or at least who is responsible for its upkeep, is that while by and large it's very good, as you'll see here at the end, it's rather overgrown. Which is a bit of a safety concern, as well as being an inconvenience. And the end of the path clearly does not envision this multi-use path being used by anything but people, healthy people on foot. As you can see, it just kind of ends here. There's no real exit to the bike lane. And the bike lane is clearly marked. I hit that pothole every time. Or I should say, at least the bike route is clearly indicated. There's no formal indication that this is intended as a bike lane until here, and I have found that it is in such disrepair with storm drains and things like that as well, that it's safer just not to use it at all. Well, this is unfortunate. This light up here doesn't really detect bicycles all that well. So unless you get lucky and hit the light with the car, you just have to sit there. And now, no, actually, as it turns out, there's another car, so I'm in luck. This will be a couple of minutes, but you won't see that. It'll be shortened. Well, that's certainly one advantage of riding around lunchtime. 3 cars queued up there. And that shortens the wait at the light considerably. Everyone's in a hurry to go wait at the light. But at least they weren't obnoxious about it. So I'll take it. See if I can encourage this truck to go around me first. Rather have him in front on the hill than behind. Oh, skip that. He's going to have to stop. Or nearly. All right. Yeah, I would have been better off in front of him. Oh well. Can't win them all.